of a mayor wanting to smooth community relations with different communities, and here we're talking about the pro-illegal alien activists. But I mean, come on, this is a case where it was illegal alien women who were being victimized.
No doubt immigration is doing its job. The question is, why are they doing it at this opportunity? Are they saying that illegal aliens are immoral because they frequent a house of ill repute? They are creating fear and chaos, Michelle, by going into homes throughout the area. Bottom line, they should be going consistently against all violators, employers who give safe haven to people who work illegally, not just the criminal ones. And the bottom line here is, if they're trying to influence the debate in order to get better funding and to sway Congress in one fashion, they have a lot of explaining to do why in years past they never came forward, why for so many years they didn't enforce employer sanctions. We do I-9 audits all the time. How many employees are working illegally? And why is it, finally, Michelle, that they didn't have any information on the T visa? Why is it that we see ICE, immigration on ICE? It's literally a show now, because if they can get media to make their case to Congress, why is it that we don't learn about the T visa, which is a benefit for a victim of trafficking that immigration puts forward? Why isn't immigration in suits at press conferences explaining that we are a country of immigrants and that we are going to go after the bad guys, but we're going to leave the good guys alone?
I don't know what you want from ICE and these federal law enforcement officials. They cooperated on many levels with the local police department there. This is not about targeting brown people or people of color, as a lot of these groups are whining.
I think this is a questionable collaboration.
They're protecting people, and don't you think it sends a good deterrent message for immigration to be out there to warn other people who would exploit illegal aliens that you can't put women in slavery and get away with it?
Agreed, except what they should be doing is developing relationships and not severing them or smothering them in communities. They asked for permission to park in a church nearby. They went randomly through restaurants in the area. If they're going to do this, they need to do it judiciously. That's what Lady Liberty is but a few miles from the studio about. We are a nation of immigrants. We will put away drug traffickers and slave traffickers, but we will act judiciously when we prosecute the law as well.
Scott, what was the U.S. Attorney's Office and the local police department supposed to do in this case? They wanted to have them all put smiley face buttons on their pins. Would that make the community there feel better about what obviously was a long-standing investigation? In fact, there was a local police officer who was killed in the line of duty undercover getting this case underway.
That's true, Michelle. This case goes back to December 2005, early 2006. Officer Vick, the St. Paul Police Department officer, was murdered not on this case, but while working undercover, and was involved in the investigation for the St. Paul City Police Department that got this thing off the ground. But local law enforcement didn't have the resources to pursue the national and international aspects of this trafficking operation. So the investigation, as far as I understand it, was led by federal law enforcement authorities doing a good job. The folks at ICE who were present at the press conference yesterday, along with the local law enforcement authorities who'd gotten the investigation off the ground and cooperated in the arrest that took place on Monday.
Michelle, no one's arguing that they didn't do a good job. I served at the U.S. Attorney's Office. I actually went on a raid. I can tell you that they go with the best of intentions, but you cannot go beyond the zone. You cannot go into innocent homes and create pandemonium. People, your ancestors and my ancestors, all of us, anyone watching this, more than 250 years ago, we were all products of immigrants. We cannot throw out the good water with the bad.
Is that your impression of the case, Scott, that that's what happened here?
You know, it's really unbelievable that this international human trafficking sex slavery operation was taking place in residential neighborhoods in the city of Minneapolis. That's part one.
Then why did they go through restaurants in the area, sir?
Turned their backs on it.
Why did they go through restaurants in the area? Why did they go through churches? This goes beyond the pale.
Well, I don't think we should be second-guessing how the investigation happened. The fact is that these women are far better off now. Gentlemen, thank you.
Agreed.
Next, a shocking report about illegal aliens from the Middle East sneaking into the U.S. through the southern border. The problem is worse than we thought. And then a big victory against sex predators.
Of towns in our area proudly marched in Memorial Day parades. New York One's Sean O'Ryan was in Leonia and Englewood to join in the festivities and watch residents pay tribute to those who've died in the line of duty.
Everybody is an American today.
The Leonia parade set off along Broad Avenue Monday with flags held high and bagpipes playing in honor of those who have served their country.
very enjoyable, and if I'm doing it for a purpose, it makes a lot more difference.